Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a little different. I have been asked to speak about my experience with COVID and share what I went through, and maybe it'll help you figure out if you have it or prompt you to go get tested. So this is my first time being tested since the pandemic started. I never felt before like I needed to go get tested. I never had any of the symptoms before, and I need to add that I'm a registered nurse. I work in a hospital, but I do not work on a COVID floor, and we do not have known COVID patients. My whole experience started New Year's Eve. I had worked the 30th and the 31st. So New Year's Eve, I started feeling a little tired at work. Didn't really think anything of it. I had a busy night the night before and thought maybe I had not gotten enough sleep. And so yeah, I was at work feeling a little fatigued. Not really my typical self. Didn't really think anything of it. Like I said, it was New Year's Eve, so we brought in the new year with sparkling juice. It was pretty fun. But yeah, I was just not kind of feeling it. I was just really tired. And so got off work Friday morning, came home, showered like I normally do when I get off work, and went to bed. I didn't sleep. I tried not to sleep too much when I get off work because I know if I don't have to go back the next night, then I don't want to not be able to sleep that night and ruin the nights off that I have. So yeah, I went to sleep. I woke up. When I woke up Friday afternoon, I just did not. I felt real I felt like I had been hit by a truck. I did not feel good. I was just so tired. Didn't really have any other symptoms, but just tired. So I ended up just taking it easy Friday afternoon and night. Saturday, woke up. I felt a little bit better, felt a little more refreshed. My husband said, let's go to the mountains. Let's just take a day trip to the mountains. So I was like, okay, that sounds fun. And although I was still feeling a little tired, like I said, I was more refreshed than the previous days. So we went to the mountains. We didn't really get out of the car, thank God. The only time we got out was at the creek sides, and there were no other people around, so that was a blessing. And then we ended up, there was nothing really to do there because it's off season, and just there was not as many tourists, and so a lot of the shops and stuff to do there were closed as well. So we ended up going home. On the way home, I really started to feel tired again, just kind of body achy. So I ended up falling asleep for the most part. My husband made a comment. He said something, I'm so tired. I wish I could sleep as much as you are. And I was like, well, I'm not driving. And so, yeah, so we came home. We got home pretty late at night. I think about like 11 or midnight, something like that. Went to bed, woke up Sunday morning, and I knew something was wrong. Just body aches, fever. I wasn't coughing at this point, but I just knew. I was like, I got a virus. I didn't think it was COVID, but I got a virus. I got a cold. I don't know. Something's wrong. So, so my husband said, well, you probably should just get tested just to make sure. So I made an appointment, not at the hospital that I work at, but there's a free testing site at the airport near my house. And so I made an appointment there just for the convenience, and made it for that Monday morning at 9 o'clock. My husband took off work since I was getting tested. He needed to quarantine as well. And went there, got tested. The lady, it was in the nose. The lady took the toothpick, the Q-tip, and barely went right here into my nasal passages, just barely. And I thought, oh, okay, well, that was easy, because I was expecting the brain tickler like everyone else described, since this was my first time getting tested. And I was pleasantly surprised that she did not do that. And all I did was pull down my mask a little bit, just under my nose, and then pull it back up, and we left. And so she said 24 to 72 hours until I would get my results. And it ended up being that Tuesday afternoon, about 2 o'clock, my results popped up and it was negative. And so I was like, oh, okay, like, okay, I I don't know what's going on. And so I told my work that I was negative, and they were like, okay, well, and I wasn't supposed to go back to work till that Thursday, I believe. And so I just took it easy the rest of the day. Tuesday, Wednesday, I was the same way. It was the exact same feeling. And about, I would say 4 o'clock, maybe 3, 4, it was like, maybe I hadn't noticed because I just wasn't feeling good, but I don't know what I did, but I got up, and I think I went to the kitchen to get a drink or something to eat, and I could not taste or smell. And I was like, what in the world? And like, I was like, okay, wait, are you serious? Because I'm negative. Like, I don't have COVID. I'm negative. And so I went to the refrigerator, and I got a jalapeno, like one of the jalapenos in vinegar, and I couldn't taste any heat or like any jalapeno flavor. The only thing I could taste or feel was a little bit of the vinegar, like the feeling of it. It was just a very weird feeling. And I cut open a lemon, and I put it on my tongue, and I couldn't taste the lemon flavor, but it was like a zing kind of on the back of my tongue. Very, very odd. And that was about it. I called my boss, and I let her know. I said, I can't taste or smell. I'm gonna go get tested again tomorrow. And so she's like, yeah, you probably have it. So I made another appointment, and Thursday morning, I made an appointment for the same thing, Thursday morning at 9 o'clock, went and got tested. This time was different. Pulled down my mask again, right here. The lady, it was a different lady. She took that Q-tip, and she went all the way up. And when I say all the way up, she went all the way up. And she said, I know I'm in the right spot, because I went, like, pulled my nose back, and like tears, and just like, oh, like I was like, oh man, like it didn't hurt, but it was like, that uncomfortable feeling. And so I was pulled off. I was like crying. My husband's like, are you okay? I was like, I don't know, like that was crazy. It was not like the first time. So 24 to 72 hours again, you have to wait. So Friday rolled around. I was expecting to get my results in 24 hours like I had the previous time. My results never popped up. Saturday morning they popped up, and it was positive. I was like, oh, I knew it. Like, I just knew it. I probably tested too early. And so I let my work know that I was positive, and they took me off the schedule, of course. My husband, he wasn't able to go to work either. And so I quarantined myself in my bedroom. He was in the living room. Both of my girls were doing virtual learning. Thank God. They did it after Christmas for 3 weeks with the school district. They didn't want any chances of COVID, which mine was so far after Christmas, so I know it's not. And we didn't have anybody over anyway, so couldn't have gotten it then. And so yeah, the next 2 weeks, fevers. My highest temperature was 103. Body aches. Just no smell, no taste. Headaches. I would get headaches as soon as I woke up. I would drink just chug water all day, water, water, water. I was just convinced I was dehydrated. And then I would say about 2 days after I tested positive was really when my lungs started to feel like concrete. That was the scary point for me, is feeling like I might have to go to the hospital, that I was going to be alone, that they were going to have to intubate me. I just was a feeling of dread and panic. I can't tell you how many panic attacks I had at night, thinking that I wasn't going to wake up, or that I would wake up and I couldn't breathe. You know, it was just a feeling like heaviness in the lungs, just so heavy. Coughing, I was coughing stuff up. It just felt like my lungs were so wet. Yeah, it was a lot of mucus, and I know that's gross, but yeah, it was a lot of that, and just coughing to the point where it was like I couldn't catch my breath, and you know, making like wheezing a little bit, just very scary. And that lasted all the way up until probably the 3rd week. It would be back and forth, where like days where well, it would be times where I could breathe, you know, a little bit better, and I was thinking, okay, you're finally over that hump. And then other times were like, oh my gosh, it's happening again. It's happening. Like, you're gonna have to go to the hospital. Thank God I never had to go to the hospital. Thank God I never ended up having to go to the hospital. I would have definitely gone if I needed to, but I just didn't want to go there and expose other people when I really didn't need to go. I called my doctor. I wasn't able to get in since I was positive with my doctor, but I do have an appointment this week, so that's good. But yeah, that is the energy level throughout the entire time was super low. Like, literally at times I could not get out of bed. It hurt to, you know, just move in the bed. Never had any GI symptoms, really. I know some people reported GI symptoms, but yeah, I never had any, which I'm grateful for. And then now it's been about 3.5 weeks, and I am going back to work now. I actually work tomorrow night, and haven't had any fevers. Still coughing a little bit, but I've heard from plenty of people that post the cough lingers for a while, and I'm able to breathe a lot better. I still have times that you know, I still have that wet feeling in my lungs, but it's so much better than it was. I tell you, it is so much better. But yeah, that is my experience with the virus. I hope everybody is as safe as they can be. You know, those are my symptoms. If you look at the CDC website, not everybody has the same symptoms. Symptoms vary from person to person, especially if you have comorbidities. And so, you know, call your doctor, go get tested if you feel like you have it. Do the whole quarantine. Don't leave your house and expose other people. It was scary, and I can't imagine having, you know, ignored the signs, and, you know, been around people that you know, had fragile immune systems. I'm not here to, you know, tell people to do anything, but all right, guys, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.